Hello everyone, welcome to Stats24 video predictions. We have 6 predictions for the weekend in this one, and the first prediction is from Hillsborough Stadium. Sheffield Wednesday, they are my favorite team in League One, and hopefully they will win promotion back to the Championship because they are too big and they actually, if you ask me, belong to the Premier League. They are the biggest club in Sheffield, bigger than Sheffield United, so hopefully in a few years we can see them back in Premier League. On Friday night they will take on Bolton at Hillsborough, and I think the odds are a bit high on Sheffield Wednesday, so there's a clear value on Sheffield Wednesday against Bolton. They have 5 wins in a row against higher placed ranked teams in the league, and I think that they can continue their impressive form against a team like Bolton. Bolton, they only have 1 win from the last 5 games, so they are not in a good form, and actually all the 5 games Bolton have played recently have been against teams from mid-table or from the lower end from the table. So with over 30,000 spectators at Hillsborough Stadium, I think that Sheffield Wednesday can cover the over 1.5 goals with Bet365. Second prediction on Friday night from the Premier League, when Nottingham Forest take on Newcastle at the City Ground. So Forest, they had a good period a few weeks back where they had a lot of winnings, and they was actually above the relegation zone with 5 or 6 points. But at the moment they are winners in the last 5 Premier League games and only 2 points above the relegation zone. So I think you can see a bit panic, and they will be more desperate to get 3 points. But the question is Steve Cooper the real manager for Nottingham Forest? I think that they should have sacked him a long time ago and hired a more experienced manager, because Steve Cooper doesn't have any experience in situations like this where the Forest are battling to be in the Premier League and avoid relegation. Newcastle, they was also not in good form, but they won last week against Wolverhampton, and they are still in the battle for the top 4. They have 2 games in hand, so they could be in the top 4 after a few weeks. So I think this game is actually more good for Newcastle, because you will see a Nottingham Forest side who will be desperate, and Newcastle love teams like Nottingham Forest, because against high-pressing teams, Newcastle, they are good in defending. They are more focused on the defensive part of the game and doesn't concede that many goals. But against teams like Nottingham Forest, they are more open to go up, and they actually have good strikers with like Saint-Maximin and the Swedish attacker, but also a few others. So with all the attacking players Nottingham Forest have just signed, they have signed almost 20 or 21 new players this season, so they have many options in the attacking part of the game, but they also concede a lot of goals, Nottingham Forest. So I think with the more, if you look at how desperate they have looked against Everton and also Tottenham, it's easy to see it's a desperate team, and they concede many easy and silly goals. So I think it will happen against also Newcastle. So my prediction in this match is that both teams will score. This is the earliest prediction on Saturday, and it's between Hamburger and Holstein, Kiel from Bundesliga 2. 3 teams are battling for the automatic promotions, and only 2 teams will get automatic promotion back to the Bundesliga. Maybe Hamburger Sportsverein could be back in the Bundesliga after 5 years. It's a very big club for the Bundesliga too, so hopefully they can continue their good form and win the promotion back to the Bundesliga. But more interestingly in this prediction is that Hamburg, they are very strong at home at Volkspark Stadium, where they have won all their last 5 games, and 4 of them have been won with 2 or more goals. So against a team like Holstein Kiel, who is a mid-table team, and more interestingly, they are conceding many goals compared to the other teams in the mid of the table. So maybe and hopefully Hamburg could continue their good form against Holstein Kiel. Hamburger, they have some of the best attackers in the league, and they also score a lot of goals. So if they continue their good form at home against Holstein, I think that they could easily cover the Asian handicap line -1. So my Asian handicap -1 means that if they only win the match with 1 goal, we will get all the stakes returned. Chelsea, they are finally back on track, and they are impressive at the moment. But of course, with all the qualities they have, especially in offensive part of the game, it's almost obvious that they will win and score goals. That was the biggest issue a few weeks ago. They could not score goals despite having a high expected goals in almost every match. But now they have won their last 3 matches in all the competitions, 2 goals against Dortmund and 3 goals against Leicester here. And the most important, that players like Havertz, Sterling, but also Joao Felix, they have started to find each other easily, and it looks very beautiful. Very similar to Arsenal, the Arsenal game. Everton, they cannot stand against the high-pressing teams. They conceded 4 goals against Arsenal, and I expect something similar against Chelsea, because with Chelsea back on fire and starting playing beautiful football and attacking football, I think that it could happen. The same could happen in this match. Hopefully, of course, that Everton, they can avoid relegation. They're in good form. They are for the first time in many games above the relegation zone. But I think against a team like Chelsea, they will concede goals. So my prediction in this game is Chelsea to cover the Asian handicap line -1. And it means if Chelsea only wins the game with 1 goal, they will get all the stakes returned. Our 5th prediction is from the League One between Cambridge United and Charlton. So based on only the last performances and the highlights like this, I put my money on Charlton in this prediction. Because Charlton, they are coming into this game after an impressive 4-1 win, where they should have scored more goals. It looked actually very good how they played, the combinations from the open play, but also how they defended against against a similar side like Cambridge. Cambridge, they are at the bottom of the League One, and they have not won a game in the last 5 games. I also watched their highlights, and it was obvious that they have only 1 point from the last 5 games, because they are very bad, and I think after those shocking performances, they deserve to get relegated to League 2. So if you compare the odds in this match, the value is definitely on the Charlton win. But I go with the Asian handicap +0 on Charlton, which means if the game's ends in a draw, we will get our stakes returned. The last prediction in this video is from the Derby della Capitale, Lazio and Roma. Both sides are battling for Champions League spots in the Serie A, but it's very difficult to call who will end in the top 4 and who will end outside the top 4. Both sides, they missed a golden opportunity last week. Lazio, they played very bad and didn't impress against Bologna and played 0-0. And Roma, they conceded 4 goals last time at home against Sassuolo. At this moment, it's Thursday today. Both sides have matches in the European League and the European Conference League. So I don't know if they get any important injuries ahead of this match on Sunday. But I expect a game with many false cards, a lot of drama, just like a normal derby in Italy. But I also expect goals in this match. So the best prediction based on the odds and where the value are is predicting both teams to score.